Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If you're here, you're probably wondering whether someone you know, maybe a friend, a co-worker, or even someone you see casually, might secretly be attracted to you. But not just that, you're curious about what those subtle signs are, the ones that people don't talk about often. And what makes this even more interesting is when we mix in a little stoicism, not in a boring textbook way, but in a grounded, honest way that helps you navigate modern relationships without losing your calm or dignity. So today, we're diving deep. No flashy tricks, no clickbait. Just a calm, steady conversation about human behavior, attraction, and awareness. This is going to be a conversation you'll remember, not just because it's useful, but because it might change the way you look at people entirely. Before we get into these powerful signs, and I do mean powerful, let's first talk about what Stoicism really has to do with all this. See, Stoicism isn't about being emotionless. It's about being emotionally resilient. It's about observing without immediately reacting. When you approach attraction, or suspected attraction, from a Stoic perspective, you're not overanalyzing or jumping to conclusions. You're watching, you're staying present, and you're letting the truth reveal itself over time. That mindset is the key to not just understanding others, but also understanding yourself. Because if you're overly eager to believe someone likes you, you'll misread everything. And if you're too closed off, you might miss the real signs right in front of you. So in this video, we're looking at those quiet, consistent cues that a woman who's secretly attracted to you will almost always display without being too obvious. All right, let's start with something subtle but powerful. When a woman is secretly attracted to you, she creates little moments of emotional vulnerability around you. She may not be confessing her feelings. In fact, she usually won't. But you'll notice how she suddenly becomes more open when you're around. It's not performative, it's not loud. It's in the way she shares small stories she doesn't tell others. Like maybe she's talking about something that bothered her at work, or a weird dream she had, or a song that reminds her of childhood. These aren't just casual facts, they're intimate cues. And you'll notice something even more interesting. She seems to test the waters emotionally. She'll say something a little revealing, then watch how you respond. Not in a manipulative way, but in a vulnerable way. If you're stoic, not cold, but steady, she begins to associate you with emotional safety. That emotional safety, that's magnetic. That's when her attraction deepens, even if she doesn't fully understand why. And if you're paying attention, you'll see how these little confessions usually come with soft eye contact. Not staring, just gentle moments when her eyes linger a little longer than necessary. That's not a coincidence. That's subconscious chemistry speaking before words ever do. Now you might be wondering, isn't that just friendliness? Isn't that just her being nice? Sometimes, yes, but the difference is in the pattern. Consistent emotional openings paired with an increased sensitivity to your presence. That's not random. That's attraction trying not to show itself, but failing. Now let's talk about time. Not in the poetic sense, I mean literal time. When a woman is secretly into you, she gives you her time in ways that are disproportionate to how she treats others. And the Stoic angle here is all about observing how that time is offered. She may not be free, but somehow she makes herself available when you're around. It's not just that she wants to hang out. It's that she quietly rearranges her life. Just a bit when you enter the scene. You might be at a group gathering, and she always ends up near you. She might offer to help you with something small, a project, an event, whatever. She texts you about something random, then keeps the conversation going. You'll notice she uses excuses that sound logical, but the pattern becomes obvious over time. She's finding reasons to interact. And those reasons are low pressure, but intentional. And here's where Stoicism is your superpower. You don't chase, you don't push, you observe, you give space. And when she comes closer, you acknowledge, not with desperation, but with Calm interest. That calmness becomes a magnet. You're not validating her attraction, you're giving it a place to grow. You're allowing space for honesty without flooding it with need. And when she realizes that you're not demanding her time, but you respect it, that's when she starts offering even more. Attraction isn't just about chemistry, it's about consistency. If she consistently carves out time for you, especially in subtle, flexible ways, you're not imagining things. Something deeper is happening. Let's pause here for a second. Not to rush to conclusions, that's not stoicism, but to remind you, attraction doesn't scream, it whispers. And the most powerful whispers are the ones you don't need to force. They come back again and again like waves. If you keep seeing the same patterns, emotional vulnerability and time investment, you're not chasing ghosts, you're hearing signals. And here's the final, and perhaps the most misunderstood sign: she mirrors you. Not in a corny, exaggerated way. Not like mimicking your hand movements. This kind of mirroring is psychological. It's when her energy starts to adapt to yours. If you're calm, she becomes calmer around you. If you joke, she leans into the same kind of humor. Her texts might start using phrases you commonly say. Her pace, her language, even her posture subtly shift around you. It's not imitation. It's unconscious alignment. That kind of mirroring is rooted in something deeper than thought. It's attraction meeting comfort. You don't mirror someone unless you want to feel connected to them. It's how we bond as humans, by syncing without realizing we're syncing. And once again, your job, if you're taking the Stoic path, is not to get overly excited, but to stay centered. Attraction that's real doesn't need to be forced. When someone is aligning with your energy naturally, that's not just interest, that's desire working its way into comfort. And here's a bonus insight. If she starts teasing you in a very specific way, one that's gentle but laced with attention, it's another indicator. Teasing, when done with warmth, is often how affection sneaks out when it's not ready to be direct. And yes, this also applies to shy women. They may tease less, but they'll do it in subtle, intelligent ways, little observations that show they've been noticing you in ways most others haven't. So let's pull back. You've got 3 major signs: emotional vulnerability, disproportionate time investment, and subtle mirroring. These aren't just random behaviors. These are consistent signals from someone who might not be ready to speak their feelings out loud, but their actions have already started the conversation. And you don't need to rush it. You don't need to call it out. In fact, the more stoic you remain, aware, observant, respectful, the more naturally that attraction will reveal itself. Not every connection needs to be pushed. Some need to unfold. So the next time you're around her, don't ask, "Does she like me?" Ask, "Is she comfortable revealing herself around me?" That question will guide you better than any surface level sign ever could. Remember, attraction isn't about hunting. It's about sensing. And Stoicism, it gives you the strength to wait, to notice, and to act only when the moment is right. Thanks for spending time here today. If you found value in this conversation, take a moment to reflect on your own experiences, and maybe even watch the signs a little more closely next time. Not with judgment, but with calm awareness. Stay grounded, stay present, and we'll talk again soon.